Howdy.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Yep.
No, losing 20 white centaurs is rarely acceptable unless you're like winning your first war with that battle. So we might talk about the battle. We think that maybe some better scripting would have helped or more units. But if you think that you're gonna lose like 20 out of 42 white centaurs to take a throne this early in the game, then that is a poor trade.
Yes, we saw that he had a lot of Maenads, which are definitely throwaway troops at this point. What we saw is what we analyzed during the cut of the video is that the troops that he's facing, first of all, he knew the positioning and he knew what it was. So he knew that he was facing very killy stuff that could go through his fire resistance place that was poisoning, so that he had no answer to that. He knew that the backline was open. So basically, even if he could attribute himself with throwing away trash like Maenads, at least at this point, into the middle, then he basically could use the superior cleanness of the White Centaur to trade kill faster into that, and to use the Berserk trade to actually not HP root, even if he lose all this chap that he could use around.
Well, once you start seeing the actual fight, those fire drakes in the back, they have huge AoEs. These snakes themselves have poison. That many rolls, some of them are going to explode. And the centaurs themselves, they're killy, but it's a lot of poison, it's a lot of damage rolls.
As well, you can recruit indie shamans to drop poison ward, or you can just use chaff and have them eat it. He's Pan. He has plenty of recruitable nature mages to do it. He also has blood mages for the cleansing of the blood or whatever spell. Although this early in the game, I'm not sure if he has research for any of that, but that's not really a big deal. He has Maenads who can just eat the venomous fangs for the white centaurs.
Yeah, so Pan doesn't natively have access to fire. Fire gives you elemental resistances easily, which is actually something Pan, like at Enchantment 9, you could do Gaia's Blessing, obviously, but that's really late game. But the, which is a nature spell at Enchantment 9, it does all the resists. But typically before then, you're probably going to come up in some war where you want to have either cold or fire resistance, depending on your opponent. And Pangea doesn't. This Age of Pangea has a bit of water, I want to say, but it's hard to. It's hard to communion up, and so you can't really. If you look at the mages, they're just like, yeah, you get a tiny bit of water. So this gives you elemental resistances because you can do both. If you go enchantment, you'll get fire resistance, and if you go alteration, you'll get cold resistance with a fire mage. So either having fire or water magic gives you both resistances depending on the tech path that you go down. So that is, I think, well, it's a great throne, first of all, because he's using sacreds as like killing troops. So just the +3 attack is fantastic. But
Yeah,
just
it's
breaking
insane.
you into fire is nice. For their elemental resistances, it's nice. But there are other things you can do with fire, including forging all sorts of items. It gets you into like lightless lanterns, for example, which could be really nice later on. They're good as evocation mages. This will set you up for Flames from the Sky later on, which you can do pretty easily with a Fire 3 base. You can. There's a lot of people like to kind of rank like all the different schools of magic and like, oh, this one's good and this one's bad, but they all have utility. And just getting access to every branch of magic is, I think, an important sort of side quest that you have in every Dominions game. And so that one checks one off the list really early for Pan, so that's really great.
To be honest, I think I would because of the current place, because fire elementals are scary, but they shouldn't like pass through too fast the fire resistance, basically. So that probably would be a good choice. Like this run opens up so much. Like all the points that Sakne said, I would add that very early, actually simply burning pearls is like crazy. It's 5 fire resistance and it's 4 attack skill, I think, which with Hierophants and stuff like that, you can do some nasty ripple build in early that clears a lot of stuff, be it for more raiding, for counter tugging, stuff like that. So I would probably go at war against Marignon, knowing what it opens up to me.
Heck yeah. So I place a lot in defensive positioning. I'm not a big bless player, so the bless is that's amazing bless for him, mind you. But to me, it's more of the path access, and that's a great position to take because that's a forest. He's Pan. He can beat him out of the province right there and then, and drop a fort with his spell, and that's it. This age of Marignon cannot sail, so that's where they have to go. I would fight a war over that throne if that was in that choke point.
Soul Slay, I'm calling it. Soul Slay, I am calling it. I have horrible memories of losing a Tito Inan super combatant really early on, trying to take a Lore Master throne, getting her back, and then sending her in to die again to Soul Slay. Don't be like me. Worry about the Soul Slays on these Lore Masters.
Well, to be honest, like that's going to be stupid astral evocation at low levels, basically. Solar flare, stuff like that. I think. That'd be my guess. Yeah. The-
So you have to be mindful that if you're going at this with like a million skeletons, they're mindless, and so the Soul Slay will kill your 3 commanders and then you'll rout. But
Yeah.
if you go Well, I'm saying that's if you were kind of lazy and just threw like a few priests leading 200 skeletons, that's not going to work. But that's easily countered by bringing a bunch of ghouls or like actual units that you might still have from expansion. So this is actually, for almost every nation, this is a pretty easy throne to take. Just don't try to take it with like a single thug or super combatant. As Mandar hinted at, that's not going to end well against an S3. That's going to soul slay you. But honestly, any army that isn't like 100% skeletons is going to do fine.
Not very, just because I always doubt myself on where the opponent's going to go, but everyone tells me I need to do it more.
I would say very early conflicts, it can be very strong and pulls a lot of steps, like conflicts before turn 12 or 13, like that can be very, very powerful too. Sometimes against opponents that have small raiding forces that can be susceptible to heavy cavalry, then it can, on specific province, regardless of the time of the game, unless it's like solid game and the Turks are basically able to take anything, it can definitely be a power play. Then it's more timing if you've got mage support to do traps and stuff like that. I mean, unless you're facing basically looters, PD dump is more like a very situational tool. So there's like no good time. It's all relative.
Yeah, indie types. Let's see. Barbarians are great because they hit like trucks. Bone Tribe are basically lumped in there too. Zots are amazing because Zots fly, and they're always in caves where they have actually decent stats relative to normal people. Those are fun to PD dump. Yeah, Bone Tribe, Barbarians, and Lizards. Yeah, no, fuck PD dumping Wolf Tribe. I don't know why you would PD dump Wolf Tribe unless you really gotta.
Well, aren't the double attacks good against giants?
Yeah, the double attack into giants is actually good.
Yeah, they double attack, but they're not good.
No, Ashcloud won. Yeah, that's it. That's what the report says.
If he's using sacred, is he? Is it sacred? Is it sacred units? That was yeah, that was the Shayanakites. Okay, yeah, into the Shayanakites that wouldn't be so good. But if it went with like mainly Edomites because he couldn't afford to use Anakites or whatever, it's actually good. I think Warp Tribe put them in low amounts of non-sacred giants is actually not bad. But that's really relative only to the fact that they have 2 attacks. And I think there's some armor piercing in Warp Tribe, or maybe I'm wrong. But like otherwise, Warp Tribe, yeah, it's piercing. So that can be powerful into smaller amount of giants, but into Shoshin Arcades, that's just wasted gold.
I'm gonna pull up my spreadsheet.
450-ish, I want to say. This ballpark. Well, there's a
I'm
strategic
not so
value too.
impressed.
I agree with Sakne.
So the Pedidum was successful last turn. He killed like something, I forget what, but he killed like a small army of Ashdods that wasn't expecting it. So it actually did kind of almost pay for itself in the in the last turn. So it's possible that if you add up all the Ashdod losses to this PD dump, it's almost even in terms of gold spent. But what it does do is it forces, like, it baits out the army. So if he's combining this with another move, I don't know if he did that, but if he is combining that with another move, like, he's forcing a major army to come out here. And then I don't know, what if he cloud trapezes, air elementals, whatever, right? He might have a follow-up plan. Now it doesn't look like he does in this case, but he could have.
Yeah, definitely. Good point.
I'm thinking fire elementals would be really nice to have right here. Maws of the Earth would also be nice. Yeah, no, those are the two chief ones that come to mind. Yeah, it does. No, but Maws of the Earth does.
More, I think Earth Grip got like a small AoE, does it? If
Might
it
be
does,
AoE one.
then yes, it would be probably fine. It's probably like if you got enough troops with like more than 2 casters, that'd probably be interesting because Vans tends to have very low strength on what you need to get out of grips on most of the earth and stuff like that is strength. So it would make sure that Vans would be out of the fight for quite a few turns. That's very important there.
I don't remember the specifics, but it basically keeps you from moving and it rat fucks your attack and defense skill.
Yeah.
All right, so Earth Grip is, first of all, it doesn't affect flying or floating units, but in this case, they're not flying or floating, so that's fine. And Earth Grip itself is actually only one person. It doesn't have an AoE. This is the Alteration 1.
Oh yeah, that's
spell.
Earth Meld. That's Alteration 2. That's got
Yeah,
AoE.
if you're looking at Earth Meld, then it has an AoE 5, which is quite reasonable. Yeah. And in order to get free of it, you need a strength plus DRN versus 23, which is why it's nice on elves.
Yeah, because like Vans is 13 strength, if I'm not wrong.
Well,
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, that goes to 0. That's very, very to elves.
Yep.
Now, I mean,
That's
let's be real here. They do have 14 hit points. They do have 13 protection. They're not complete chumps without their defense skill, but they are a lot flimsier.
Importantly, it'll scatter the formation too, because the guys that get Earth Grip are just gonna like stay in the back and not do anything.
Yeah.
So it gives you much better surface area at the front line.
And we're talking about Ashdod there, so the ability
yeah.
to survive with 14 HP and 13 protection into giants is like negligible.
Oh yeah, they're gonna one shot them or two shot them because damage gets capped on arms and legs. Yeah, that's what at least as Ashdod, that's what comes to mind.
I agree.
He scales Ashdod, so honestly, if he's getting the size 3 guys with javelins, like javelins are pretty good versus elves.
That is
Oh
true.
yeah, because javelins works like missiles now.
Exactly.
So
They're
they have
missiles.
near-
They don't care about the. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
javelins are pretty good.
Jan.
Well, who did they send?
Yeah, but
Not this early.
I mean, unless he got a hero like the Black Lord
Oh,
and
yeah.
whatever.
Ooh. Furies. Home.
The defense skill is warrior, free attacks, magic, so goes through the glamour. Yeah, I don't see. I
Oh,
don't see
those little
how-
elves. That's
How
100
advanced
fatigue on the
is
shot.
that?
If one of those hits, good
Yeah.
night.
Oh yeah, true.
Ooh,
I didn't.
that's a lot of fatigue.
Oh, but she's lucky. But she's lucky.
Oh yeah, true.
Home.
Oh,
Almost
Oh my
still
God.
wins for sure. I think they're all super fatigued.
Yeah. Basically, we'll just have the elf shooting until they got no shot less. OJ.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, it's fun.
It depends, honestly. Like if there's Battle Arena mode or not, on my availability on Descent Commanders. Like if I don't have a commander, I could-
What
No.
items?
Honestly, no. Without Battle Arena, you're more likely to have a cursed item or something like that. That's basically worse than your gear, and maybe it's even going to replace the gear that you actually used on your dude. So
the balanced one and the one that gives you that charm helmet on turn 10. Cursed junk. Well, no, luck and witness. They're sometimes good, but it's usually the cursed
Sometimes
slot.
fog too, I think.
Uh, so this happened to Ballin, and he can give you so much more detail before. I just was at the tail end of this. Makone won in arena like turn 10 or something like that. Got the charm helmet. When I end up fighting Makone, he's sending me Neefel Jarls, Scrotty, Neefel White Mages, Van Jarls he took from Helheim. I was not fighting Makone.
Crown of Overmight.
That one.
Yup.
yeah, that's true.
And it benefits from penetration boosting items. It's amazing.
It's nasty.
Yeah, so we've shifted. We play with balanced arena. So actually, for not that I'm encouraging competition to your channel, but Lucid actually recently did a short video on exactly this topic, and he kind of explains and shows all the different items that you can get and exactly why each of these different arena mods is good or bad. So now we try to play with balanced arena, which tries to make the arena better than just the vanilla one, but doesn't allow for the crazy shenanigans that we were talking about with the friendship hat.
Oh, jeez.
I was not aware of that, so that seems like a problem, but I'm sure we'll fix it. Oh yeah, the water.
Ooh. It's a funny.
That's amazing.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, goodness.
Thanks for
Oh, you're
having me.
welcome.
This is a lot of fun. Please invite me back for future turns.
Everything that he said.